O positive. The life-giver's legacy written long before cities, kingdoms, or even agriculture. This isn't just a blood type. It's the original blueprint of our species. When our ancestors hunted under open skies and crossed continents on foot, this was the blood that kept them alive. And today, it still flows through nearly 4 out of every 10 people on Earth. It's the most common, not because it's ordinary, but because it worked. For thousands of years, this was the biological setting humanity relied on to survive. Picture your bloodstream as a battlefield. Millions of red blood cells rushing like tiny delivery trucks, each carrying oxygen and microscopic IDs. These IDs, antigens, tell your immune system, I'm one of you. Meanwhile, your antibodies stand guard, ready to attack anything unfamiliar. In the ABO system, type A has the A badge. Type B carries the B badge. AB has both. But type O? It's blank. No A, no B. The original, stripped-down version. The only badge it carries is the Rh factor. That little positive simply means, yes, this marker is present. And because these cells are so plain, so universally acceptable, O positive becomes a medical powerhouse. In trauma rooms, it's a lifesaver. Its red blood cells can go to anyone with a positive blood type. A+, B+, AB+, O+. That covers almost 85% of humanity. Hospitals don't just want O positive, they depend on it. But being the ancestral default comes with its own price. Evolution doesn't hand out advantages for free. On one side, type O carriers seem to have a quiet shield around their brains. Decades of research suggest they face a lower risk of cognitive decline, conditions like dementia and Alzheimer's. Their minds age slower, almost as if their blood is guarding the circuits. A big part of that protection lies in how their blood flows. Type O has the lowest levels of von Willebrand factor, the protein that helps blood clot. This makes their blood smoother, less sticky, a gift for the heart, a boost for circulation. Fewer clots, fewer strokes, cleaner flow to the brain over a lifetime. But that same silky blood becomes dangerous in moments of trauma. When someone with O positive is badly injured, their body struggles to stop the bleeding. The very thing that protects them day to day turns on them when seconds matter most. And then there's the hidden weakness deep in the gut. Helicobacter pylori, the stomach ulcer culprit, has a molecular key that fits type O cells almost perfectly. It locks on easily, which is why people with this blood type are more prone to ulcers and certain stomach infections. Norovirus and cholera exploit the same vulnerability. To them, type O is an open door. Even mosquitoes seem to know. Studies, especially from Japan, show they're twice as likely to land on someone with type O. They detect microscopic sugars on the skin, and for reasons only mosquitoes understand. Type O tastes better. Your blood makes you a magnet. This is the paradox of O positive, the ancient code that kept our species alive, still offering protection, yet carrying vulnerabilities baked deep into who we are. Now we step into the next chapter. A positive, the farmer's bargain. A positive. If type O belongs to the roaming hunter, type A belongs to the architect, the one who stayed, planted seeds, and built the first walls. About 3 in 10 people carry this blood type, making it the second most common on Earth. It didn't evolve under open skies. It emerged in the cluttered, noisy chaos of early farming villages. Picture tight clusters of mud brick homes, fields of grain, livestock wandering through narrow lanes. Humanity had stopped moving, and diseases began to settle in with us. Living close together, and close to animals, created an entirely new evolutionary arena. Plagues, parasites, and pathogens that thrived in crowded spaces exploded through early settlements. And somewhere in the midst of this microbial storm, the A antigen appeared. All it took was one small addition, a tiny sugar molecule attached to the surface of a red blood cell. A microscopic decoration, but one that changed everything. This new, a badge, strengthened the immune response against civilization's plagues. Evidence suggests that type A individuals had better odds of surviving horrors like the Black Death, where entire cities were emptied in months. In a world where illness swept through communities like wildfire, This sticky new blood gave its carriers a fighting chance. Medically, A positive is still a major player today. People with this type can receive blood from O positive or A positive donors, making it a flexible and reliable group for transfusions. But the evolutionary trade-off? It's steep. That same stickiness that once protected ancient villagers now works against the modern body. Type A blood has naturally higher levels of clotting factors, proteins that make the blood thicker, more prone to clumping. This raises the baseline risk of deep vein thrombosis, strokes, and heart disease. What once shielded your ancestors from plague may now place extra pressure on your cardiovascular system. And there's another hidden twist, one that hits much closer to daily life. Type A individuals are biologically tuned to a higher alert state. Studies show they produce more cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone, even when nothing dramatic is happening. When faced with the same stressful moment, their adrenal glands react more intensely than other blood types. Thousands of years ago, that constant readiness was useful, a farmer defending crops, a builder guarding a settlement. But in modern life, that same wiring turns everyday pressures, emails, traffic, deadlines, into a deeper, more persistent burden on the body. This biological pattern even shows up in culture. In Japan, where blood type personality theory is taken as seriously as zodiac signs, type A is labeled Kichiman, organized, earnest, careful, but also anxious, rigid, and prone to stress. It's as if an entire society noticed the biological pattern long before science explained it. There's one more shadow on the A-positive profile, a higher statistical risk of stomach cancer. Researchers suspect the A antigen creates a friendlier surface for certain cancer cells, or that the immune response behaves differently around it. Either way, the link is consistent. This is the blood of the early farmer and the city builder, strong, adaptable, shaped by civilization itself, but forever carrying the stress, the pressure, and the evolutionary bargains made along the way. Now we move to the next lineage, the rarer blood types shaped by even stranger forces. B positive. While O and A shaped the early foundations of humanity, B positive carries a very different story, one written by movement, cold winds, and endless horizons. Only about 1 in 10 people have it, yet its presence is like a genetic passport stamped across continents. This isn't the blood of the first hunter or the first farmer. This is the blood of the traveler. Its origins trace back roughly 10,000 to 15,000 years ago, likely high in the Himalayan plateau. Imagine a world of thin air, icy winds, and nomadic tribes moving with herds across unforgiving terrain. From this cradle, Type B spread outward with the great riders of history, the Scythians, the Mongols, the steppe warriors, sweeping from Central Asia across the Middle East and deep into Eastern Europe. Every migration left a trail of B antigens behind. Like Type A, Type B is created by adding a tiny sugar molecule to the original Type O cell. But this one, D-galactose, forms a very different defensive signature. It forged an immune system built for unpredictability. Life on the move meant drinking from unfamiliar rivers, eating strange plants, hunting new animals, encountering foreign bacteria at every stop. And the B antigen adapted. It sharpened the body's defenses against gut-based invaders like E. coli and Salmonella, exactly the threats nomads faced most often. You can still feel that heritage today. This blood type flourished on a diet most ancient populations couldn't tolerate: heavy meat, fermented dairy, and foods shaped by a pastoral lifestyle. While settled farmers struggled with lactose, nomads thrived on milk, yogurt, and cheese, a distinctive metabolic signature written into their history. This background inspired one of the most famous pop science fads, the blood type diet. O as the hunter, A as the farmer, B as the nomad. It sounds convincing because the anthropology is real. The mistake is assuming ancient diets automatically determine modern biology. No credible clinical trial has ever shown the blood type diet works. People lose weight on it simply because it eliminates processed foods. The evolutionary story is true. The diet advice is fiction. But every specialization comes with a cost. The B-type immune system is sharp, reactive, and highly trained to identify patterns that resemble the B antigen. The problem is that some of our own tissues, joint linings, nerve coatings like the myelin sheath, can accidentally mimic those same molecular shapes. And when that happens, the immune system fires at the wrong target. This is the autoimmune trade-off. Statistically, people with type B show higher rates of chronic inflammatory and autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis and multiple sclerosis. Their immune system is so vigilant, so ready to strike, that it sometimes turns on the body it's meant to defend. In medical settings, B positive has moderate compatibility, flexible enough to receive blood from O positive and B positive donors. But because so few people have it, hospitals constantly struggle to keep it stocked. A rare blood type means rarer donations, and that makes it precious. Type B positive is a biological relic of people who refuse to settle. People shaped by motion, by new horizons, and by an immune system forged on the road. Next, we move to the rarest story of them all, the blood type that barely exists, yet carries the most intriguing mysteries. AB positive, the rarest of the common blood types, and the strangest. If type A is the builder and type B is the nomad, AB positive is what happens when two very different worlds collide. It's the biological paradox of humanity. This blood type didn't emerge in the distant past. It's not tied to ancient tribes or early settlers. AB positive is new, astonishingly new, less than 2,000 years old. A product of history itself. It appears right as major civilizations began mixing on a massive scale. Picture crusaders from Europe carrying type A blood, meeting Middle Eastern populations rich in type B. As these groups mingled, something unprecedented formed in their descendants. A blood type that carried both signatures. AB positive red blood cells display the A antigen and the B antigen simultaneously, a double marking on the otherwise blank O-type cell. Two molecular frostings on one surface. This dual identity gives AB positive a power no other blood type has. Because it recognizes both A and B as self, its plasma contains no antibodies against either. No anti-A, no anti-B. No internal border patrol trying to attack unfamiliar antigens. That means, in an emergency, AB positive individuals can receive red blood cells from anyone with a positive blood type. O+, A+, B+, AB+. Their bodies accept nearly all of them without a fight. It's the closest thing humans have to a universal welcome mat. But that openness has a price. With no need to defend against A or B antigens, the immune system of AB positive individuals can be too relaxed, too forgiving. The gates are open, the guards half asleep. As a result, this blood type is more vulnerable to certain bacterial infections, especially gut invaders like E. coli and Salmonella. Where B types mount an aggressive defense and A types respond with sticky efficiency, AB often reacts too slowly. And the same tolerance extends to another threat, the body's own damaged cells. AB positive individuals show higher rates of certain cancers. One theory is simple but chilling. The immune system, trained to be accepting, doesn't always catch abnormal cells early enough. In its effort to avoid overreacting, it sometimes underreacts. But the most haunting vulnerability lies in the brain. Large-scale studies have found that people with AB blood are more likely to experience cognitive decline and memory loss as they age, more than any other type. The reason seems to be a brutal fusion of their inherited traits. The sticky, clot-prone blood chemistry of type A combined with the inflammation-prone tendencies of type B. Together, they strain the brain's tiny vessels, choking off microcirculation over time. It's the ultimate contradiction, a blood type born from cultural blending, uniquely receptive, universally compatible, yet neurologically fragile. AB positive is the enigma of modern biology, a product of human togetherness, carrying both the best and the worst of its ancestral lineage. Next, we cross into the final group, the negative blood types, and the mysteries hidden in the absence of the Rh factor. O negative, the rarest of the common types, carried by less than 7% of people, and yet it's the one blood type every doctor, every paramedic, every emergency ward relies on. Not because of what it has, but because of what it doesn't have. Its red blood cells are true blanks. No A antigen, no B antigen, and, crucially, no Rh factor. Nothing for an immune system to question. No molecular passport. No identifying badges. Just silent, anonymous cells drifting through the bloodstream like ghosts. This emptiness is its superpower. When someone is bleeding out and there's no time to run tests, no time to wait for a cross-match, O-negative is the only safe option. Surgeons grab it without hesitation. Paramedics carry it in their trauma kits like sacred cargo. Every unit is treated as medical treasure, liquid gold in a plastic bag. It is the universal donor, the blood that can go to anyone. But for the people who have this blood, the gift is a burden, a hero's curse. O-negative carriers can save everyone, but almost no one can save them. Their immune system is packed with antibodies, anti-A, anti-B, and potentially anti-Rh if they've ever been exposed. To their body, anything other than O-negative is an intruder. That means in a crisis, they rely entirely on a tiny pool of donors, just 7% of the population. And like their O-positive cousins, they share the same biological weak point. Their stomach is a prime target for H. pylori, norovirus, and other gut-based invaders. Their blank blood cells make it easier for these pathogens to latch on and attack. But their greatest vulnerability is written into reproduction itself. This is the story of rhesus disease, one of the most heartbreaking biological conflicts in human history. Imagine an O-negative mother carrying a baby conceived with an O-positive father. The baby inherits the Rh factor, making it Rh positive. During the first pregnancy, everything is usually fine. But at birth, a small amount of the baby's blood mixes with the mother's. And that's when everything changes. The mother's immune system sees the Rh factor for the first time, an unfamiliar antigen. To her body, it looks like a threat. So she builds an army of anti-Rh antibodies, and she carries that army for the rest of her life. The first child is untouched. But the next Rh-positive pregnancy, that's when the war begins. Those anti-Rh antibodies are tiny, small enough to slip through the placenta. They cross into the fetal bloodstream, identify every Rh-positive red blood cell as an enemy, and destroy them. The baby is attacked by its own mother's immune system, cell by cell. Before modern medicine, this was a tragedy that happened again and again. Stillbirths, severe anemia, newborns fighting for their lives. But then came a quiet revolution, the Rogum shot. A simple injection that blinds the mother's immune system, preventing it from ever recognizing Rh-positive blood. It stops the army from forming. It saves the next child before they're even born. One of the most understated life-saving discoveries in history. O-negative is a paradox. The most selfless blood type on Earth, capable of saving anyone, yet fragile, selective, and carrying one of humanity's oldest reproductive dangers. Next, the mystery deepens with the rarest genetic outlier of all, the blood type some call evolutionary proof of something unusual. A negative. This blood type is rare. Less than 6% of humanity carries it. It's a strange combination, the builder traits of type A fused with the silent danger of being Rh negative. Their biology carries the same A-type tendencies, the elevated stress hormones, the slightly thicker blood, the increased risk of cardiovascular trouble. Yet these are the same features that once gave their ancestors an edge against ancient plagues, a trade-off written deep into their cells. But all of that gets overshadowed the moment the minus sign enters the picture. Because for someone with a negative blood, the world of transfusion suddenly becomes a tightrope. Their body accepts only two types, a negative or the ever-precious O-negative. Nothing else. In a crisis, that tiny donor pool becomes a dangerous vulnerability. And the risks don't stop there. An A-negative mother carries the same reproductive threat as any Rh-negative parent. Her immune system, if exposed to an Rh-positive baby's cells, can form a standing army of anti-Rh antibodies, a defense force that won't harm her first child, but can become deadly for the next. It's the strength of a builder wrapped around a hidden fragility, a reminder that what keeps us alive can also place us at risk. And it leads to an even more fascinating question. What happens when this rare combination meets its opposite counterpart? B negative. This type is almost ghost-like in the human population. Barely 1 to 2% of people carry it. It's the blood of the ancient wanderer, the type B nomad, fused with the dangerous shadow of being Rh negative. Inside these individuals is a uniquely tuned immune system, sharp, specialized, and sometimes overly reactive. That same specialization that once helped migrating populations survive unfamiliar landscapes now comes with a modern cost, a higher chance of autoimmune issues. But the real problem lies in the minus sign. For someone born with B-negative blood, medical emergencies become a tight squeeze. Their acceptable donor list is shockingly short. They can only receive from their own kind, B-negative, or from the rare and treasured O-negative. That's it. In a hospital, every bag of B-negative blood is treated like a critical asset. It's cataloged carefully, watched closely, and reserved for moments when a single unit can mean survival. In a trauma situation, finding a match isn't just urgent, it's a race against the clock. And for women carrying this type, the stakes rise even higher. A B-negative mother faces the same Rh-related danger as all Rh-negative parents. If her baby is Rh positive, her immune system can be triggered to see that child's blood as an invader, a tragic biological misunderstanding that once claimed countless lives. It's a wandering bloodline on the edge of disappearing, and one that carries both ancient strength and modern peril. Ready for the next one? AB negative. This type isn't just rare, it's almost mythological. It's a statistical ghost, carried by fewer than half of 1% of humanity. To grasp how rare that is, consider this. You are more than 80 times more likely to be O positive than AB negative. This isn't just a blood type, it's the razor-thin edge of human variation. Inside this group lives a strange biology, the complexity of AB blood fused with the vulnerability of being Rh negative. They inherit the AB tendency toward immune tolerance, the higher risks of certain cancers, and the cognitive decline seen in their AB counterparts. It's the modern enigma, but stripped down to its most fragile form. And yet, hidden inside that fragility is one of the most extraordinary paradoxes in medicine. On one side, the AB-negative person is medically vulnerable. Their red cells are so specialized that they can donate only to other AB individuals, a tiny, tiny fraction of humanity. Their red blood is almost unusable to the world. But flip the coin, and everything changes. As recipients, they're remarkably safe. Because their immune system lacks anti-A and anti-B guards, they can receive red cells from nearly any Rh-negative donor, O-negative, a negative, B-negative, or their own AB-negative. In the Rh-negative world, that's a rare and precious advantage. But their greatest power lies not in their red blood cells, but in their plasma. AB-negative plasma is biologically blank. No anti-A, no anti-B, and if unexposed, no anti-Rh. It is the purest plasma on Earth. And because of that, it can be given to anyone, regardless of blood type. This is the final twist. The rarest blood type in humanity belongs to people whose plasma can save everyone. A life on the brink of statistical extinction, carrying the single, most universally valuable substance in modern medicine. If you love strange science, hidden biology, and the secrets our bodies carry, make sure you subscribe to Strange Wise. There's so much more waiting beneath the surface.